My name's Ilene Rein. I am from Pounding Pavement. I am here today with Mary Judge, who just landed her dream job. So, Mary, thank you for joining me here.
Thank you, Eileen, for having me and for all your support.
So, let's talk about your job search because we had originally connected through a couple of different people. A couple of different people had referred you to me. What did you think when they said, gee, contact Eileen about your job search?
I was connected to you through a networking group that I started joining, and I guess maybe in the networking group I said, "Oh, I'm on a job hunt and appreciate kind of anyone pointing me in the right direction." But I must have been communicating on Zoom like desperation and panic because people came to me and were like, "I know the solution that you need, and this is the person you need to talk to right away." And it was kind of like it finally felt like a break. Like, okay, I had been on the job hunt for like 8 or 9 months after finishing a graduate degree and just not making progress, not knowing what I was doing, starting to get really stuck and lost. And it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, this is something I can do that I know will help me. And I think we had our first conversation right away. And I was like, yes, okay, like a plan. It felt good to have, something that I knew I could do that would make a difference, since what I had been doing was not making a difference.
Well, and especially you're in marketing, and this is a marketing project, really. It's marketing you to employers, just like we market a product to the marketplace. So, I mean, we had spoken in March, and then you didn't come aboard. You didn't join my program till April, so a month later.
Yes.
What were you thinking about?
I think in March, I still had a couple job applications I was sending out, even one that I had a referral to. And I kind of thought, like, maybe just give it a chance. Like, maybe one of these will work out. And I sort of wanted to, I think I almost was hesitant too. I was in a point where I was feeling like I had tried so many things that I was uncertain. It was like, well, maybe something will happen and I won't have to make this investment in, in coaching and working with you. But I think the whole time I even sense, like, obviously neither of those jobs worked out, even the one with the referral. And now I look back and can know exactly why they didn't and what I was doing wrong. But so I think
we made those adjustments, so that's okay.
Yes, we made the adjustments. But even now I'm like, oh, of course that wasn't working. And so, yeah, I think I just was kind of hoping that something magic would happen. And that is not how this works, as we've learned and as you've helped me learn. And so it just took me a little time to get it together. And then I was like, okay, I want something to happen, and I want to invest in my career in the right way. And I didn't know it then, but, I now know that it wasn't just an investment in this stage of my job search, but in my job search and resume and interview strategies, like, for the rest of my life. So
exactly, because these are skills that I'm teaching you from the view of the recruiter that you're going to have forever. Now you know how to do this. You know exactly how recruiters search, what they're looking for, how to navigate this job search process. So we launched you. We started with resume development, okay, and then we launched you. So we were having a conversation before this, and it was an eye-opener to you as to how to present yourself to the world.
I have always felt really overwhelmed by resumes. I feel like everyone gives you different advice. If you Google it, you get 8 million pieces of advice. You think a lot of the advice is bad. And then I had been using a resume, changing a resume, and like starting to get like a little bit more and more unhinged with like every change I was making to my resume. And I like was so overwhelmed by it. And I think I said to you when we were going through my edits, like, this is the first time in my life I have ever liked my resume. Like, I looked at it and I was like, this is amazing. Like,
well, you're amazing. It was just kind of being buried under all the advice, because everyone has a different opinion, and it just keeps getting layered and layered and layered. And we needed to polish the diamond that you are.
there were times that I would say, well, I really want to communicate that I have, this organizational leadership. And you would say like, okay, so put it right there. And I was like, it's some of this advice, I could not get out of my own way. I think I was so stressed. I was really in my own head and I wasn't making straightforward or clear decisions. I think I was like thinking too hard about it. Like I was like, surely, if I do this thing or that thing, or you're right, bury it somewhere. And like, it was just all kind of all wrong. And now that we've worked on it and you've explained it to me, it's like, of course that was all wrong. Like it makes so much sense, but I never could have gotten there on my own. Never.
And that's what I'm here. I'm here to coach you through that process. Look, it's not hard. It's just that no one has shown you from the view of the recruiter as to how to navigate. So, if you went like wicked fast in this job search, okay, because we finished your final resume. I have all the dates here in front of me. We finished your final resume on the 18th. You were hired on the 23rd.
This is true.
So you were hired literally 5 days later.
Yes. And also on the 18th is when we did all of the interview prep work. And between, I guess, that was a Monday. You know the dates. I don't know the dates. That was Monday. I had an interview Wednesday. They called me and said, we want to schedule you for 2 more right away on Thursday. And then sent me the job offer on Friday. And the interview prep, I think I met with a lot of different people. I met with people really high up in the organization. And I think if we hadn't put in those hours on Monday night, I'm not sure that I would be here right now. I think that is true.
Yeah. I mean, the information that I'm sharing is really what are the recruiters actually listening for in your responses to those questions? Because 75% of all interview questions are the same. So why are we surprised when we walk into an interview, when we're asked these questions? You know what they're going to ask. It's like taking a test in school. Okay, you know what's going to be on the test. Let's prepare before you walk in.
And one of the things that I think in our first conversation, before we started working together, when you said, well, what's not working for you? I think I was even saying, I'm getting to phone screens with recruiters or HR at a company, and then I'm not getting past it. And I think it's because I'm not translating my value to a way that, someone who is screening for candidates is understanding. Like I knew it was like swing and a miss. And it happened at like 8 to 10 times, like not an insignificant amount of times, maybe not that many, but I'll say it.
But it's still frustrating. Even if it's one time, it's frustrating.
Yeah. And the whole time I was going through interviews that week, I could like hear your voice in my head, like saying like, do this or like get there. And I was like, okay. Like I could get right through it. And it was super helpful. It really was. It's some of the most confident I've ever felt in interviews. And I thought I would have said before this that I didn't think that I need interview help. Like I'm extroverted. I talk a lot. And I would have been like, I'm fine. And now I look back and I'm like, I can't believe I was just flying by the seat of my pants out there, like not going through the preparation. It made a world of difference.
Yeah. I mean, most people, even though they're extroverts, they can talk with the best of them. It's a very different process going through the interview. It's very different on how you need to present yourself and how you need to present the information. So, and now imagine if you're an introvert and you're trying to survive through that process, but you know what? It's the same thing. You still need to know how to present yourself. So I'm so glad that was helpful. And then we were working on LinkedIn profiles. We were working on job search strategies and just the whole package, because this is a whole process. It's not just that you do your resume and you send it out and you get jobs. No, there's a whole science behind this.
Yes. And I can't believe I was just out there in the world with my LinkedIn profile the way that it was before. Like I was really apathetic about it. I thought it just didn't really matter, or like, I would just deal with it later. And then you're right, the whole package, once we were looking at, my resume and I was feeling really confident about that, and my interview prep and was feeling really confident about that, that it was like, oh my gosh, like people see this, like
Yes.
from all over, people see this. And I can't believe I just like, you know, I haven't been doing anything with that, or haven't been taking it seriously, or, you know, didn't realize that there were really easy ways to sell yourself. And I think when you feel more confident about the package that you have, it also makes a huge difference in the way you search for jobs and the way you think about searching for jobs. And, you know, I had spent a lot of time thinking like, I can't apply for that, or I would never get that job, or like, there's no way this would make sense. And it's because I didn't have the tools to translate relative experience to that job search, when for a lot of those jobs I talked myself out of, I probably could have stood a fighting chance if I had the right strategies in place.
Well, now you have the right strategies, you know, for the rest of your career on how to do this. Your LinkedIn profile is set up, ready to go at all times, because also as a professional, you need a professional presence out there. It makes a difference. So I am so thrilled that you got hired. I'm so upset I won't be able to talk to you weekly anymore. Not that, not that we lasted long. You know, I have a problem. You know, I keep losing clients because I keep getting them hired. So I am so thrilled for you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. And good luck in your new job.
Thank you so much.